I'm here with internationally renowned scientist Dr. Bill Hennen. And Dr. Hennen, you are really the help develop what we call restoration biology. In layman's terms, could you tell us what is restoration biology? Why does the man and woman out there really want to know, take this seriously?
Well, restoration biology, as the name indicates, is our study of how we restore ourselves to the optimal function of our bodies. And so that really means anti-aging, that means getting to our youngest, strongest self within the genetic confines that we have.
If you go to any part of the world and ask people who likes to feel younger, with more energy, look better, out of 100 people, 100 will say me. So this is becoming a great opportunity, talking about restoration biology. As people knows and learn about Forever Green, this will become something very common. So this is going to be a great opportunity to help people financially and physically.
Forever Green has a very large family of products, like everything from essential oils to weight management, whole foods to personal care products. But we're going to just focus today on a couple of our supplements. So maybe you can give us a short tour. You are the developer, the formulator of a product called AIM Transfer Factor, and AIM stands for anti-aging, immune, metabolic support. What is it? Why should we be taking it?
Well, again, when we look at restoration biology, that is really based on this foundation of the antioxidant, the immune, the metabolic, and that anti-aging effect that those three have. What we're looking at here is designing products that will support every cell, honor every cell's intelligence, and allow those cells to display that intelligence by having the adequate tools and information and building blocks to be able to create the strongest possible cells that create the strongest organs that create the strongest body. And so the whole product line of Forever Green, it can come under that umbrella. These products have been designed specifically in that context, and so we focus on the general needs in order to accomplish the overall benefit of the body.
Well, it's becoming somewhat common knowledge that you could have, for example, we see in America, obese teenager that might have a biological age of 40 or 50 and a cardiovascular system that old. And yet at the same time we meet 80-year-olds that might have a biological system of a 50-year-old or younger.
Well, and that's true. One of the things that we have had a tendency to do over the last 4 or 5 decades is to simply discount our ability to control our health by diverting that to a physician or by saying, it's just your age, as if that was some kind of a life sentence and unable to be modified. Within restoration biology is this concept that if we obey nature, we can control nature. And so we reverence nature, but we apply all the tools of science, all of the study of nature, to allow us to now come, instead of a reactive position, to an active position, to take an active role in our lives. And as you said, we have teenagers that eat primary nutrition that is soda pop and potato chips, and because of that they have a cardiovascular system that looks like a 40, 50-year-old person. And yet we can do the reverse. Our bodies have within themselves the ability to heal. They have the intelligence, but they don't always have the tools. And so our focus is to give the kinds of tools that are necessary to allow the body to heal.
So in the product AIM, then we're working not only on making a more youthful, tell me if this is a true statement, a more youthful immune system, a better anti-aging or repair system, and creating more energy with the metabolic system.
The AIM focuses on the immune system, as you indicated, and it's pretty easy to establish that as a priority system. If you remember, all of us, as we think of the last time that we had the flu, we didn't want to go dancing, we didn't want to even think, just leave me alone. As our body was diverting all of its energy away from the muscles, away from motion, away from thought, and focusing on the immune system, because it doesn't matter how strong or how smart you are if you're dead. And so it's just a very easy understanding. Survival is our first function. And so once we master that, once we do that efficiently, then energy is spared for all of the other life processes.
I am an amateur athlete. I am a runner. And before using AIM Transfer Factor, I used to run a marathon, 42 kilometers marathon on Sunday, and I could run again like a month after. Right now, after taking the AIM transfer factor product, I can run a marathon on Sunday, and next Wednesday I'm running again, like it's, if nothing happened on Sunday. And which is good of it is that if you have a professional athlete, he can train harder because he can recuperate faster.
Now, Forever Green has another product called Immunize. Why do we have two products in the arsenal, if you will, that are immune oriented?
Well, there's a number of reasons for that. The most necessary reason is just a physical requirement. The components that are in the AIM are best in a dry state. The components that are in the Immunize are liquids and oils. And so the separation of those two allows for each to be in a more stable environment. And so as we ship to around the world or these sorts of things, maintaining those allows us to maintaining those separately allows us to maintain quality. But the two work together very well.
And what does Immunize do that, for example, AIM doesn't?
Well, you know, the Immunize was a marvelous marketing name because it tells you a lot about the product. It has to do with the immune system, and it has to do with seeing. You see, the AIM creates an immune system that's strong, it's able to recognize and to react, but we have a lot of germs that hide. And they hide in such a way that it's hard to see them. Even if you got 20/20 vision, you know, you've got all these masking effects. And so the role of the Immunize is really to strip that mask off and to allow us then to be able to see. So a strong immune system, being able to see effectively, and you got a marvelous combination. So
do I understand correctly that a virus, as an example, will actually hide behind your own cell so that that's why it can't see?
Well, essentially that's the ones that we are the most concerned about are those that actually infect our cell and then bud out. But when they bud out, they wrap themselves in a bit of us. And so it's this cloak and dagger thing. They've hidden so they look like a tiny piece of us. And our immune system says, oh, okay, that's me. I say, well, but until the immune system can see past that mask, it doesn't not always respond effectively. And so by stripping the mask, we expose the virus and allow the immune system to recognize it.
Sounds like something in this modern world where germs travel overnight from one city or one country or continent to another. That's a really important thing to have in our arsenal.
Well, it is. You know, our immune systems were designed to mature at about 11 years old because we should have known all the germs in our environment. But here we are sitting next to each other sharing conversation and germs and everything else. And so, you know, this was never anticipated by nature, that we would have these kinds of rapid transit and so forth. And so we have to now use our intelligence to allow us to adapt to a new environment. We don't fly because we have wings, we fly because we have a brain. And we can survive in this environment if we apply our intelligence and use all of these natural, wonderful abilities and direct them properly.
Well, one of my favorite things about Forever Green in terms of product is something very, very special, and it is the original food from the earth called marine phytoplankton. And we have a number of products. In fact, AIM, Immunize contains marine phytoplankton, but we also have some really outstanding 3 products that we want to talk about: Frequency, Azul, and Pure, that contain marine phytoplankton, but also do some other things in the body. Can you tell us about that?
Well, let's start with the phytoplankton. Obviously, the phytoplankton is, in fact, the base foundation of the ocean ecosystem. And it provides over half the oxygen on the earth and many other important functions. And so it's an energy capture and it's a food supply. Now, if you walk up one food supply, you go from phytoplankton up through 10 or 12 different steps. But the interesting one is when you go to the side and you just go from phytoplankton to these little krill to the largest and longest lived mammal on earth, the blue whale. And so nature has shown us that path can be short-circuited, and in fact a great benefit. We're a mammal like the blue whale, and like the blue whale, we need a way to break that phytoplankton open. And so one of the processes that Forever Green uses is a process that takes this glass encasement, because phytoplankton are actually encased in silica, which is like glass, and breaks that open so that we can get the benefit of it. And just like the krill breaks open the phytoplankton for the whale, we now have, again, a scientific way of doing that krillinizing release and releasing the benefit of the phytoplankton. Now, once we have that, now that component can be divided into different functions. The pure is wonderful in that it combines not only the basic and food of the phytoplankton, but also the mineral base that all of us need for function. So pure is a very concentrated form, excellent for international shipping. Another one is the azul. The azul is the phytoplankton combined with a whole array of very wonderful antioxidants, all whole foods based, so you're getting the full benefit of these components. The last one, which is actually the first one that was made, was the frequency. Mm-hmm. Frequency was the phytoplankton combined with a whole host of excellent components, and that has an immune function that is very interesting because it's anti-inflammatory. It helps us to control the over-response that we often get that causes a lot of the difficulty that we have in our relationship with our environment.
I had a back injury back in my early 20s that was a disability to the point that I couldn't run anymore. And being an athlete, that was a huge disappointment. I could do a few other things from riding a bike or a few gentle sports, but could never run again. And after using frequency for a year and a half, I had this urge to start running again and questioned whether my back could take it, but I could run. And that was about 4.5 years ago, and continued to run, have a number of different physical activities that I'm able to do. My overall strength, there were noticeable strength issues that I couldn't do anymore, and regained the strength again. So frequency is an everyday, every morning, every evening. It's a nutritional supplement that I would never, ever be without.
So the marine phytoplankton are these microscopic plants, and this ability to strip away that silica or glass is really an exclusive element of our marine phytoplankton products. We're the only company on earth that has that.
That's true. It's not a cheap process. It's not, there's a lot of difficulty in doing that, but it's well worth it because it makes it bioavailable.
Well, it's not bioavailable. It's not even use.
Yeah,
we can't use it, so we have to do that. Yeah. So I just want people to understand that this amazing food, because these are plants and there's about 200 variety of marine phytoplankton in there, giving you just amazing health benefits, a huge nutrition panel in there. It's really a whole food, and again, 3 different products that really address other arenas.
Well, after almost 6 years of investigating and looking at the products that we do have, I've come to the conclusion that if this is the base of nutrition for the entire planet, that we've captured something pretty miraculous. It's a complete whole nutritional food that our human bodies now, because of Tom Harper's unique technology, are able to use. It's available to the body, and so we're nourishing our bodies in a very complete whole way and without the calories. Usually we relate food with calories or nutrition with certain land foods, and this is a microscopic algae that supports our body in a nutritional way that nothing else does.
Now, Dr. Hennen, I think we'll finish with the number 1 killer on earth is heart disease, right?
It is, and
what's our solution? What do we have to offer people that are concerned about their cardiovascular system?
The fact that it's the number 1 killer is probably one of the saddest things, because it's so, we know so much and can prevent so much. Again, this whole idea in restoration biology that the body knows how to heal itself. It wants to be healthy and it knows how to heal itself, but it needs the necessary substances to work with that. Oftentimes when we look at our diets, it's not what we eat, it's what we don't eat. And so the focus of Forever Green on whole foods, I think, is very appropriate. But the development of the Pulse 8 product was to combine Nobel Prize-worthy work in the role of arginine and its function, along with a supporting cast of 8 other components that allow us now to not only deal with this one aspect of the arginine, but the whole array of things necessary to heal the cardiovascular system. And again, you know, when we look at whether we're talking about AIM or Pulse 8 or any of these, none of these are curing anything. That's a drug claim. A drug comes in and takes over. But these are dietary supplements. These supply the necessary building blocks, the necessary information, the tools, and the intelligence of the cells then take over. Once they have the necessary information and so forth, they can heal themselves, and over time they do. One of the things that we have to remember is that in dietary supplementation, we're looking at getting at root causes, and we're looking at healing. Healing takes time. It's not a drug that, you know, in 10 minutes your headache's gone or something like that. This is something that is basic, that is extended over a long time. So the Pulse 8 has the ability, again, to correct the cardiovascular problem, not because it's correcting it, but because it's making possible the correction of this by the cells themselves, all along every artery, every vein, and in the muscle of the heart itself.
Well, I recently had the opportunity to do 2 tests. One is a test that really looks at the cellular health of the body, and it really looks at what your true biological age is. So I'm 58 at the time of this shooting, but I'm 45 from a restoration biology or cellular health point of view. Also was just recently tested for cardiovascular health. And again, I've been using the products now for over a year, and my cardiovascular system, in fact, the doctor came out, and he's about 40 years old, and he said, scratch his head, and he says, your heart is far better than mine. You're testing as a healthy, athletic 30-year-old. That really tells us about restoration biology.
It does. I mean, you know, we can talk all the science, but when it comes right down to it, what did it do for me?
Exactly.
There's always been cardiovascular problems in my family, and my father died of ventricular dementia. And so it was something I was worried about. I didn't want my family to go through what we went through with him. And so my cardiovascular age was 98, and after Pulse 8, I'm down to 34. And what a relief it means, because it means I'm going to have a full, healthy life, and I intend on maybe jumping out of a balloon on my 100th birthday.
Just think of all the hope that we can give by allowing people the ability to take these products and use them in their own lives and the lives of their loved ones. We have the opportunity to not be condemned to our genetics, not be condemned to our environment, but rather to come to that level of control, to master our environment, master our genetics, and be the best person we can physically, which also makes us possible to be the best person we can be socially and emotionally and many other ways.
I want to tell you the reason why am I smiling today. I'm smiling because Forever Green, Dr. Hennen, and everybody at Forever Green gave me an opportunity to help somebody with their lives. I cannot explain you the feeling that it gives me to do that. As an example, about 4 months ago, a friend of mine, close friend of mine, told me her husband had an issue with the health, and he wasn't supposed to be around any much longer. And with the products that Forever Green provided me, I was able to help them in such a way that I cannot in words explain to you. The person is still living, he's well, and it's the best feeling that a person could have is the ability to help somebody in their lives with products with Forever Green. I'm very proud to be a part of Forever Green. This is my new home, and I look forward to help millions of people around the world.
Absolutely. So what you're hearing is, I think, a message that people everywhere want to hear, and that these products really can make a huge impact in people's lives. And as a result, Dr. Hennen, Forever Green brings that opportunity and allows people like you and I and people watching this video to really make a big financial impact in their own family.
And that's important.
This opportunity gives people like you and I the ability to build a home-based business from the comfort of your own home. Whether you're looking for part-time income or financial freedom like myself, there's no other company like Forever Green to offer that to you. Your potential to achieve great success is your ability to dream, followed by your will to achieve it.
Well, you know, many people ask me about that, you know, and one of the questions they ask me is, you know, why do you design these products? And the answer is that I design them for myself. I'll let you guys use them, but I'm really looking out for myself in many ways. But the other thing is that I have spent 13 years in drug design and development, and the work that I did was locked up in journals and other things, and never really got to the end user. For me, as we do these videos and so forth and talk to the general public, I want them to understand that I need them. I need you, I need everyone here, because what I do amounts to nothing unless someone is there to carry the message. And that's been one of the most gratifying things to having been in this industry now for over 20 years, but especially in Forever Green, because it lays in that context of the whole idea of being both a matter of health and of kindness and of opportunity, so that we look at our total health, not just our physical health, but our financial health and our emotional health and how we interact. And so that our lives are just that much more full within the context of what Forever Green is. And that's really why I made the choice to be here, because I felt that that was the best vehicle for what I had to offer the world.
So, Forever Green, welcome home.
I chose Forever Green because of what they stand for. It's a fantastic opportunity to make money for sure, but it's not just about that. It's about the people. It's about kindness. It's about helping everyone every chance you get an opportunity to. This is who we are.